Hey guys, it's Ivy. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my March wrap up. This is very long overdue. Like, today's like April 27th. Some of these I might not remember that well, but I'm going to talk about them nonetheless and probably go through them pretty quickly because, like I said, you know, it's been a long time already, but you know, stuff happens. And the first book I'm going to talk about is Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli. I have no idea if I talked about this in my February wrap up or not. Like, I really cannot remember. So basically, new girl moves to town. She's kind of quirky. She gets bullied. I give it 3 stars. I think I would have had a different feeling about it had I read it when I was way younger. I think I love what it stands for and everything like that, but it just didn't have enough going on for me to like rate it any higher. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. The next book that I read in the month of March was House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City #1 by Sarah J. Maas, my queen of all time. Of course, I rated this 5 out of 5. Like, this was amazing. Like, Sarah just has such a way with fantasy worlds and just captivating you. Well, first of all, let me tell you what this is about. This is about a girl, Bryce, whose best friend Danica was murdered, and she wants to figure out what happened. And so she teams up with this guy named Hunt, and they're on the case together. And obviously there's romance, there's heartache, there's anything you can imagine. Like, this book has it. Vampires, werewolves, everything. Demons, angels, steamy times, the whole 9 yards. Sarah just has such a way with friendships and books and just female friendships, and I just really loved Danica and Bryce's friendship, and I really hope with every fiber of my being that we get a prequel novel of their friendship, and just not even their friendship. Like, there's so many other badass women in this book that you will just fall for. I can tell you that these plot twists blew my fucking mind, and when I love a book, I'm not like, it's not a thriller. Like, I'm not trying to guess what's gonna happen, like, so that I can be like, yeah, I guessed that, I knew that was gonna happen. I don't read like that. Like, I read for enjoyment. I don't read to like prove that I can, you know, figure out the story before anybody else. Like, I want the story to unravel itself to me. So the plot twist blew my mind. Like, I didn't see any of that coming, and I just really loved this book and everything that was in it, and I highly recommend. And I cannot wait for book 2 because, man, that ending, shit, blew my mind. Blew my mind. The next book I read was Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I think that's how you say her name. Anyways, I listened to this on audiobook, which was fantastic. It was the Laura Dern narration, and it just had such beautiful sound effects, and it was just stunningly done. It was a stunning production. It was full cast. Really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and this was the first time I had ever listened to Little Women or read Little Women or anything like that. I never saw the movie, so I wanted to read the book so I could see the new film adaptation, and I really loved the new film adaptation, but you know, I'm a little sour with how things went in that book. I won't say anything in case you haven't read it. I won't spoil, but I did give it 4 stars, but I'm not happy about it. Okay? If you know, you know. The next book I read is All the Rage by Courtney Summers, and this is a young adult, I don't know if I would call it a thriller or like a mental health thriller or like a survival story. Not like a mental health survival story. I'm not sure how I would categorize this, but I do know that, you know, if you read Sadie, then you know what kind of books Courtney writes. So if you like Sadie and you like the female of the species, then this is definitely up your alley. It is a book about a girl who is dealing with rape, and there are like drugs being involved, like roofies and stuff like that, and her and one of her old friends go to this party. They're not friends anymore, but I don't know how much to really say because it's kind of like a mystery type novel, but one of the girls goes missing. And yeah, I flew through this book. I read it in like 2 days, excuse me, and it was just really beautifully done. It was very heartbreaking, and I did give it 4 out of 5 stars, so I really recommend it. But yeah, just be aware there's lots of trigger warnings there for sexual assault and drugs and stuff like that. The next book I read was The Buddha and the Addict, and this is by Julie Otsuka. I'm not sure how to say that, but I picked this up in a thrift store, like a thrift book, like a used bookstore. I don't know why I said thrift store. Anyways, I picked it up in a used bookstore in Tucson, and it sounded like it was going to be beautiful. It's about the Japanese brides that are basically sold to American men and their story while they're here. And I think that it could have been a really beautiful book, but I really didn't agree with the author's choices of the way she wrote the book. Like, it was always like, we blah blah blah, we blah blah blah. Like, it was never just a singular woman's story about her being a bride. Like, it always categorized them into one group, and I really did not like that, and so I hated this book and I gave it 1 star. The next book I read is The Bone Garden by Heather Kastner, and this is one of those books that I don't remember anything. I just think I rated it like 2 stars. It's about a little girl who's like made to like go collect bones for this like witch lady. But yeah, I gave this to my little cousin already. I had to get it back from him to film this video, but he thinks he's gonna like it, so that's all that matters. I don't care if I didn't. I can pass it along to somebody who hopefully will. Then on audiobook, I read To Shake This Sleeping Self by Jedediah Jenkins, and this is a travel memoir about a man who rides his bicycle from Oregon to Patagonia, and all of the people he encounters and meets and the experiences that he has. You know, him and his friend do the ride together, and it is just him like learning new things about himself, his sexuality, religion, stuff like that, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I highly recommend the audiobook because he narrates it himself, and it's just so fantastically done, and I really think you'll like it. If you're into like memoirs, even if you're not, you'll probably still like it, to be honest. The final book that I read in the month of March was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the illustrated edition. This book took me way longer than it should have to read, but I don't know, I was going through some weird shit. This quarantine is messing with my brain, so 5 out of 5 stars. Obviously, I love Harry Potter. This is one of my favorites in the series. I feel like I'll probably say that for everyone, but you know. So the illustrations in this one are fantastic, and I really loved seeing them done this way, reading the book this way, and I don't know when I will continue on with my reread. So there's that, because I don't have the illustrated edition of Goblet of Fire, and I don't know if I should buy it, one for here and one for in Las Vegas, because these books, the Harry Potter books, kind of float around my family here, so we'll see. There you guys have it. That is all for my March wrap up. As I said, I wanted to go through these very quickly. Obviously, my favorite book of the month was House of Earth and Blood. It's probably my favorite book of the year. I don't see anything outdoing that, because let's be honest, it's Sarah J. Maas. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys read in the month of March, as I would always love to hear about it. And thank you for watching this video. If you're looking for me on any other social medias, you can find those linked down below, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye!